Hi, this is Donna. Welcome to DT Paper Crafts. In today's video, I'm going to be making this lovely shaped gift box. I saw a picture of this on Pinterest but couldn't find a tutorial, so I've just made my own sizes. You can see the inner slides in and out. This section does come out completely. And although I've chosen to decorate mine in a pet carrier or kennel with a very extravagant extension, you can obviously decorate this to suit any occasion, any gift, or the recipient. So let me show you how I put the project together. I'm going to start by making up the box inner, and I'm then going to remeasure and make the box outer. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I have found sometimes when I've made boxes in two parts, I haven't allowed enough for the cardstock wrapping around the outside of the inside box. We're going to start with one piece which will be for one side and the base, and this measures 7.5 by 6, and along the 7.5 inch side score at half and 4.5. For the second side you'll need one piece which measures 6 by 3, and then for the two ends you'll need two pieces which are 5 by 5, and on all four sides we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Half, 4.5, rotate, half and 4.5. We'll work on the two end panels first, so fold under one of the 1/2 inch score lines. Place the piece in the scoreboard with the folded edge lined up at the top, and make a notch or a pencil mark at 1.5 inches and at 3.5 inches. Remove the piece from the scoreboard, fold and burnish the left hand tab, place the piece in the scoreboard so your tab's folded under and your pencil marks are on the right, and make a pencil mark at 3.5 inches. Fold under the right hand side, place the piece in the scoreboard and make a pencil mark at 1.5 inches. So our piece has got pencil marks down the left hand side, down the right hand side, and two along the top. Burnish the final score line. Take your stylus and ruler, place our stylus on the notch on the top edge, and we're going to score down to the notch or the pencil mark on the right hand side, and we're going to score through from one edge of the card to the other. So we're creating a triangle in the corner. Do this on the other side. Take your scissors, remove the bottom left and right hand squares, cut a wedge to the end of the base glue tabs, cut a wedge from the end of the side glue tabs. Turn your piece around so our triangles are facing us. I'm going to place the piece in my trimmer, and I'm going to line the score line up with the 1/2 inch mark on my trimmer, and I'm just going to cut away the excess on the top left and right hand corners. This is just to create a 1/2 inch tab on the diagonals. Cut along the left hand diagonal within the 1/2 inch glue tab. Rotate and cut along the straight score line to remove that piece. Repeat on the right hand side, cut along the diagonal, rotate, cut up the score line to remove that piece. And we're now going to remove the left and right hand diamonds in the side glue tabs. So cut down the score line to the start of the diagonal, rotate and cut that diamond away. and repeat on the other side. Fold and burnish the diagonals. I'm going to get rid of my pencil marks. So you want to do that for both end panels. Take your base and side panel, fold and burnish the 1/2 inch glue tab and the second score line, and then remove a wedge from the ends of the 1/2 inch glue tab. Ignore that line, you can see there I misscored. We're now going to join our side panel to the base. I'm going to use tape like so. I'm then going to add tape onto the 2 side panels and the base of the end panels and add those at either end. I'm just going to flip that over, line the base up against the end glue tab of the end panel, and then I'm going to remove the tape from the sides and pull up the sides to complete the end of the box. And once that's lined up, I can go in and burnish. Repeat at the other end. So that's our box base. So I'm going to double check my measurements before I cut the piece for the outer section, because I need to take into account the fact the card is going to wrap around. And I'm going to make my cover slightly bigger. I'm going to make the outside cover 4 1/16 in width and 4 1/16 in height. So for the outer cover, I've got 2 pieces, and the first piece measures 10 7/8 by 6. I'm going to take a piece of scrap card, which is the same card stock as my outer cover, and I'm going to slot it in against the top and left-hand corner of the scoreboard, and then butt my cardstock against it, and that's given me a gap on the left hand side of approximately 1/16 of an inch. My first score line is at 3 1/8 of an inch. Keep the cardstock where it is. My next score line is at 4 1/2, the next 6 1/2, and the final one at 7 7/8. Fold and burnish the score lines, and you should find that that will wrap nicely around the inner box, which you can see that does. For the base, I have a piece which is 6 inches by 5 1/16 of an inch, and along the 5 1/16 of an inch side I'm going to score at half, rotate and score at half, and that allows me an extra 1/16 in this central section. Fold and burnish the score lines and cut a wedge from the ends of each of the glue tabs. I've added the glue tabs onto the base section rather than the side panels, because I just feel that if the tabs are coming upwards, there's less chance of the box catching, and it'll just be easier for the box to slide in and out. Before I join my outer pieces all together, I'm going to add some finger notches into the front and back panel of the cover. I'm going to measure down halfway, so 1 1/2 inches, and I'm going to use my circle punch just to create some finger notches. I'm just going to fold one panel over without creasing the top section and just draw inside the notches I've made, and then I can make sure the notches on each side are in the same place. And then finally, before I glue this together, I'm going to make some holes for the brads for my handle. I'm going to measure in and mark at 1 inch, and my holes are going to be 1 1/2 inches in from the ends. I'm then just going to use my screw punch to create the holes for the brads. I'm going to use tape on one side and then glue on the other, and the glue's just going to help me with the wiggle room I need for the cover. So I'm going to add one end, the taped end, onto the base. Once that's secure, I'm going to add glue to the end glue tab. Sit the box inside the base, wrap around the outer cover and glue the cover into place whilst the inner is inside. And that's just going to mean that I have enough room for the box to move in and out. And the outer does fit around the inner nicely, and the box does slide in and out. So I'm going to decorate the box panels. I'm going to add the handle and then I'll come back and show you the finished piece. Here's the finished box. You can see the inside does fit snugly into the outer cover. Do make sure that you burnish well the tabs in the top of the box. I've sort of burnished mine down vertically, or you will need to manipulate the tabs slightly to get the inner into the outer fully. You may decide you don't want these tabs at all. That's entirely up to you. You can cut them off if you prefer. I've added DSP on all the sides of the box outer and the box inner and into the base of the box inner. I've also added an additional base onto the outside of the box just because this craft card is quite flimsy. The handle is just a strip of card, as you can see, which is 1/2 inch wide. I've used brads to attach my handle, and there was some catching as the inner was moving in and out of the outer of the tabs on the legs of the brads. I've therefore cut the brads down to as short as I can and added a disc of the cardstock over the top just so that that runs a little bit more smoothly. But you will obviously decorate this to suit whatever your needs are. I'm happy with how this box has turned out. I don't think it will be too difficult to resize it, and it's actually a very versatile design. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.